boy, Mr. Ron. Mr. Ron's on the Clubhouse. Exactly live reaction. I'm hitting you with jabs. That means we're talking UFC. UFC 209 is in the books. And we got a little bit to talk about on this one, man, because a lot went down over the weekend. Let's start with the obvious. Let's start with the main event. Tyron Woodley versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson 2. Tyron got the decision, man. It was a close fight. A lot of people had it going 3-2 the other way. A lot of people, including Dana, had it going 3-2 for Wonderboy. But that fifth round, man, Tyron almost finished him. Some people said it shouldn't have been a 10-8 round. Some people said it was only worthy of a 10-9 round. I don't know, man. It was tough. He did get really close to finishing him in that fifth. And before that, those other rounds was really close. You definitely got to give easily Stephen Wonderboy won two rounds. And Tyron clearly won the fifth. So, I mean, it's a tough fight to judge, man. That's why when they say never leave it in the hands of the judges, it's just so true. I'm not going to go as far as to say it was a robbery or a miscarriage of justice or anything like that, because it was just a really close fight. And Dana's not always right, just because he felt like Stephen Wonderboy won. I actually tend to believe, I tend to lean on the side of what Tyron says when it comes to Dana, especially now that I know his political stances and who he voted for and all that. I'm not saying Dana's a racist, but he might show a little. I mean, you look at that. I mean, I'm not even gonna go down that road. But excuse me. Tyron won. He retained the title. Tough loss for Wonderboy. Let's see where he goes next, and let's see who's next for Tyron. Is he gonna get the Conor fight like he wanted? I see him fighting. I want to see him fight Damian Maia. Damian Maia has been waiting. He's been beating everybody. Damian deserves it, even though I don't think Damian Maia can win. But here's where the fight would be interesting with Damian Maia versus Tyron Woodley, because Tyron's such a good wrestler. If he takes the fight to the ground and tries to grapple and ground and pound Damian Maia, there's a very good chance that Maia submits him. Because for those of you who've never seen Maia's jiu-jitsu, you take the best Brazilian jiu-jitsu artist in MMA and in UFC, and Maia taps him out. I mean, his Brazilian jiu-jitsu is otherworldly. It's next level. That boy is nice. He is nice. But as good as his jiu-jitsu is, his hands and his stand-up are not that great. They're not that great. So, I mean, I think in most cases, Tyron Woodley would look to take people down, but in the fight against Damian Maia, I actually think he would keep that fight standing and just piece him up with the ones and twos. I don't know where Wonderboy goes from here. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't. You can't make the third fight. Nobody really wants to see that because this fight wasn't. A lot of people didn't like it. They thought it was boring. So you can't make the third Woodley fight, and I don't know who he fights next. I don't know. I don't know who Wonderboy will fight next. It's very interesting. So, we'll see. We'll see what's next for Wonderboy. Overeem beat Mark Hunt, knocked him out with a flying knee. That was very interesting. I didn't see that coming. I didn't suspect that Mark Hunt was going to win, but I thought he would have put up a better fight than that. I mean, it did go to the third round. It wasn't until the third round that Overeem knocked him out. So it was a good fight. But let's talk about the big statement or non-statement of the card was the absence of the Khabib Tony Ferguson fight. I mean, it was just really very disappointing to have that fight pulled at the last minute. Khabib had to go to the hospital. It was really tough to see that. That was a fight that everybody wanted to see. Co-main event for the interim belt. And it just fell apart, man. Joe Rogan made some really good points about the weight cutting issues that UFC fighters have to go through. It's really tough, and I really do believe that they need to have a division because a 15-pound difference between 155 and 170 is just a huge difference. So it's a big difference. I feel like you gotta add another weight class in there, man. I do feel like you gotta. Dana doesn't. They asked Dana about it. He's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen anytime soon, at least. But this weight cutting is just a problem, man, and it's causing us to lose major fights. So I don't know. We'll see what goes from here. We'll see what goes down after that. Rashad Evans lost in a close decision fight. That's tough for him. That's what 3 losses in a row for Rashad, and he hasn't fought. He's not fighting very frequently. So yeah, overall the card wasn't that great. There was a couple good fights, but overall it was just a mediocre card. Up next, we got a couple fight nights, and then UFC 210 at the beginning of April, Cormier versus Johnson. But man, I just really want. Let me go back to the Tony Ferguson thing. So Khabib is gonna. They don't know if they're gonna rebook the Khabib Tony fight or if they're gonna let Tony fight Conor next. And this is the thing about it. They don't know what's up with Conor. Is Conor gonna do the Mayweather fight? How long before they can rebook Khabib and Ferguson? And this will be the 4th time they've tried to book that fight. Every time they just can't make that fight. So I don't know, man. It's tough. I feel bad for Tony and I feel bad for Khabib because his biggest enemy in the octagon has been himself. His inability to stay healthy. This is the 2nd time he's missed weight. I mean, Khabib, man, it's just you're creating your own roadblocks by not being able to stay consistently fighting. As much as you say you want that title fight, you can't. I mean, you got to stay active, man, and not being able to fight against Tony Ferguson this weekend was a huge strike against you. And you know Dana holds grudges. Dana holds grudges. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm super excited. I still want to see El Kukui versus Khabib, but I don't know if we'll ever get to see it. At this point, I don't know if we'll ever get to see that fight. So, all right, you guys, it's your boy, Mr. Von, Mr. Von Channel Sweatbox. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And as always, keep it locked. Until next time, keep your head on a swivel and keep your hands up. Don't get punched in the face, y'all.
Yeah.
Peace. 100.
Mr. Von Sweatbox. Let's go. We celebrating on this one, baby.